Hi everyone, my name is Boris Bagel. I'm a co-director here at Abundance Property.
And my name is Mara Chris Tagala, and I'm also a director at Abundance Property.
We thank you for joining us today. We thought we'd use the opportunity just to connect with yourself and just to learn a little bit more about what's been going on out in the property market. We know there's been plenty of changes out there, including the dreaded COVID virus. Are you keeping your 1.5 metres? Good to see. My arms are quite long.
It's 2 arms apparently.
Oh,
yeah.
2 arms. Well, just one of mine. I'm pretty tall. So look, thought we'd use this opportunity just to connect with you, just to keep you up to date with what's been happening out in the world. We hear a lot of things out in the media, but we're digging out there ourselves, and so we know what's going on. So we use this opportunity now just to get to know yourself a little bit better, Mara Chris, and thought we'd spend a little bit of time just going through a little bit here today.
Yeah, great.
So, Mara Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, just to introduce yourself to everyone here.
Yeah.
What got you into property?
Well, Boris, I'm actually a speaker, a business and mindset coach, and obviously a property expert. And I actually started my property investing career very young. I was 21 when I bought my first property, and I've been investing ever since. And really grew up with property investors. Everyone in my family was a property and is a property investor. So property has been really good to us throughout the years.
Awesome. And in terms of what else do you do outside of property?
Yeah, like I said, I am a business and mindset coach. So that's a role that I also do. And I also speak at different events on property and also on business, and most importantly, mindset.
Great, awesome. So we'll jump straight into it. So look, in today's world and what you're seeing around in the current landscape, what sort of tips do you have for people personally, professionally, and with regards to their finances? We'll go with personally first.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to look at personally first, because it does always start with us first and then comes out. So right now in this current landscape of the world that as we know it today, we're being encouraged to social distance, but I actually don't think that's the right word for it. If we do have to physically distance, it's important to do that because the government has enforced restrictions, but not socially distance. So just today we had a FaceTime call with one of our friends just to connect. We're connecting with people every single day on FaceTime, Zoom, because the government actually watched a video yesterday with an update on the federal government on how they're tackling COVID-19. And they're actually predicting that there's going to be more mental health cases than actual COVID-19 cases, which is actually super interesting because people are scared of this virus, but that's actually going to kill less people than the mental health side of things. So I think it's really important to take care of yourself and be connected to your loved ones and the people that just make you feel good, like people that are positive, that are looking future, not doom and gloom, like, the type of people that are, don't make you feel good, because, sooner or later, this is a season, we will get out of this. And while it's happening, we do have to take care of ourselves. So one important thing is what we're doing now too. We're exercising all the time. We're eating well, a bit too well sometimes, and get enough sleep, because sleep does, it is important to get that rest. And another tip that I like to tell people personally is to just follow your joy. So if it means to just go for a nice walk because that makes you feel happy, go for a walk. If it means to watch that film, watch the film. So just follow whatever is making you making you happy in this current climate.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you there, especially connecting with people via Zoom and FaceTime. I never thought I'd be reliving my Beyond 2000 dreams of
George Jensen.
George Jetson, just basically connecting with people via a TV screen as opposed to seeing them face to face and doing business. Being able to connect with people personally when we have group activities and having dinners together with family and friends, but also obviously into the business side of things. So I guess that's the next side of things. What are your tips for people professionally?
Look, this is a time where obviously we're not allowed to go out out of the house much, where lots of companies are still working from home, so you might be working from home at the moment. But even on the weekend, because restaurants are closed, you know, lifestyle things are closed, we're spending a lot more time at home. So it's a good time to start upskilling professionally. So if it means to, you know, grab that book that you've been meaning to read for the last 5 years, listen to that podcast or audio book, or learn something new that's going to actually put you in a better position once this season has lapsed. And networking, because there are a lot of people that are actually in the office most of the time, or at home office. You know, a lot of times, even in the past for us, it's really hard to network because we were too busy running our business. But this is a time where people are actually available. So it's a good time that people want to talk to you. So if you do want to increase your network, increase your professional network, I think this is the best time to do it in.
Perfect, awesome. And you mentioned before about reading books. Do you have any books in particular that you recommend, or something that you're reading at the moment?
Oh, look, right now I'm reading a Bob Proctor book, and also another book called Essentialism.
Okay.
And it talks about basically how it's really interesting, because I actually started reading it prior to COVID-19, and it basically talks about how people are super busy doing things that aren't actually of value to them. They've actually released their power, and other people are deciding for them what's important. Yeah. When there's a situation like this where we're restricted, what's important is actually starts to become really evident. Yeah. So we actually find out what really is important, like family and spending time with loved ones and those things, rather than the busyness of the world that the world can pressure us to be. So Essentialism is a really great book that
do you have any examples of this, of you applying this into your own life at the moment?
Yeah, look, for me, there's one chapter about sleep, and the owner of Amazon, actually Jeff Bezos, he actually is a really big believer on sleep. So he will get at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. And the way he talks about that is, in our world, it's encouraged to sleep actually less, because, you know, we're busy with the kids, we're busy with our work, we're busy with our social life. And what Essentialism talks about in this particular chapter about sleep is to have a restful sleep, because you're actually the most creative when you've got the rest that you need, your body needs and your mind needs. So that's something that I believe in, to have the right amount of sleep, because you're less stressed when you do.
And it's interesting because for myself, I can operate on 4.5 to 6 hours sleep.
Yeah.
I think beyond 6 hours, I'm not getting up. I'm basically jumping out of bed.
Yeah.
So for everyone, I think it's more so to be important, enough sleep for you to have felt rested.
Yeah.
So you're not waking up and feeling drowsy and tired.
Yeah, and I think it's important to listen to your body too, because, you know, you might feel tired and you just go to sleep. But if you're not feeling tired, if it's 6 hours is enough for you, then that's fine too. Yeah.
Awesome. And just moving on a little bit further down the track. So with regards to some tips in the current landscape towards finances, what sort of tips do you have there?
Look, I think it's really important to future-proof yourself and talk to your trusted advisors now, because the opportunities will come once the world goes back to normal. So an example is Warren Buffett. He actually made the most money in the downturn of the GFC back in 2008, and a lot of big entrepreneurs actually made the most amount of money once the downturn happened. So it's really important to start getting the right advice now, so that you can actually future-proof your wealth.
Yep. And what are you doing yourself in regards to future-proofing yourself?
So we're actually talking to our trusted advisors, our accountants. We're getting our ducks in a row, making sure our taxes, our BASs in place, so that and our savings are in place, so that we're looking at actually purchasing another property.
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah.
Love hearing that. Look, and I guess when we're looking within and a little bit deeper into the finances of things, why is it so important in a time like now to get your finances right?
Because there's going to be a lot of opportunity once the world reopens again. Right now, there's still a lot of the world that is in isolation and is closed with restrictions. But as soon as the world comes back on, there's going to be a ton of opportunities. There's going to be property prices, like I said, will drop a little bit and stabilize. And it's so important to be on the front foot of that, because once the masses come in, it's almost too late.
I agree with you totally. As we're already aligning ourselves in a way so that we have those opportunities for the people who have actually done all the hard work now, to put them in a position where they can make the most of those opportunities and really get ahead. So
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Now let's look forward to the next 6 to 12 months. I just want to get a bit of a perspective on what you're thinking around how interest rates will be affected.
Look, I really believe like interest rates right now, just when the first lockdown, when we got to stage 3 restrictions, they announced a 0.25 cash rate. I really believe that in the next 6 months, that's going to go down to 0 cash rate. So interest rates will never, like money, to borrow money will never be cheaper. So it's really, really cheap. And the government's doing that obviously to stimulate growth so that people are encouraged to purchase.
And what kind of impacts does that have? So we're talking about an even lower interest rate than what it is now. So how does that, what sort of things do we need to look at around that?
Well, look, if there is a lower interest rate, that means that people that have some cash savings saved up will start purchasing more property. They'll start going on fixed rates to fix for the next 3 years, just to hold it. So whatever the market does in the next 3 years, they'll actually fix it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And where do you see the future of vacancy rates? Because obviously that's a big thing within what we do, dealing with investors and having rental property. How does vacancy rates, how will they be affected?
Look, I do believe, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that there will be a drop in vacancy rate, and that's due to the fact that travel won't be encouraged. So we won't be getting the same migration from other countries into our country in the next 12 months because of COVID. Also, unfortunately, other people will be losing their jobs. There's going to be a higher unemployment rate. So a lot of people might be moving back with their family or moving in to smaller housing. So vacancy rates will be an issue, and I think that will increase. The vacancy rate will increase. So I think it's really important when you are looking to purchase a property that you look at rental guarantees. And this is something that a developer could provide. So they might guarantee at 5% for the next 2 years, which right now, because of the landscape, there is a lot more negotiation power that people have to go up to a developer and say, give me a rental guarantee. So rental guarantees is important to look into. And also, if the developer doesn't provide a rental guarantees, there's also third-party companies that provide rental guarantees.
Absolutely. And look, and it's great you mentioned that, because it's something that we've been offering our clients for a long time now, and we're very strict on the fact that we want to make sure all of our clients are looked after, and so rental guarantees have been part of our strategy for clients moving forward, and I can see that happening more into the foreseeable future. Just guarantees your income. So in essence, if something like this was to get worse down the track, you're not going to be worrying about having somebody moving out.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So it does future-proof yourself once you're already out there as an investor. Where do you see over the next 6 to 12 months in regards to property market growth?
Look, due to history, we can only look at history. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball, but based on history, normally when a financial crisis of significance like this happens, there is a drop in the property prices because people panic, and it's just like the stocks, it's based on emotions, the masses' emotions. People panic and they start selling houses off for a lower price than what they're actually valued at or what they're really worth. So there will be a drop in the property prices, and we're seeing that now. Auction rates are dropping, like the amount of properties that are coming onto the market are dropping too every week. So there will be a drop, and then there'll be a stabilization. And once that drop and stabilization happens, a lot of people will actually be a lot of people that have savings and they were waiting to purchase property will start seeing opportunities in the marketplace. So that will happen. Plus, the government will pump more money into the economy. And one thing that they're actually talking about right now, Boris, is they're actually going to they might be cutting stamp duty off for people that want to purchase property. So that's a huge investment.
And how does that affect the property market?
So I mean, if the government cuts stamp duty, and they're not going to do it forever, obviously they want to put their hands in the pot, but if they're doing it just to stimulate economy, people will actually see the opportunity and say, well, on a 500, 600,000 house, I can save 40,000 in stamp duty. I'm buying now, when I was actually waiting before, because for whatever reason, this is a great opportunity, because it won't happen, it won't last forever that they're going to hold that stamp duty discount. So as the government pumps money into the economy, like stamp duty, like cutting stamp duty off, and as people start seeing the opportunity in discount prices, people will start coming back into the market. The more people come back into the market, the more demand there is, prices go up. Absolutely. And that's why it goes back to the same thing that we were saying today, that you have to be on the front. It's really important to be in the front footing of this, because when everybody's in the market, it's almost like it's too late. Yeah. And there's this interesting quote that Warren Buffett says, and he says it like this: it's like, when people are panicking, that's a good opportunity to be greedy, and greedy meaning like trying to make the most of the opportunities. Yes. When people are being greedy or making the most of the opportunities, that's a good time to step back. So you're basically trying to do the opposite to what the masses do.
And I'll agree with you there, because we have clients who we've been dealing with for many years now. Now they're seeing the opportunity and they're coming to us, whereas before it was more of a, give me 3 months, give me 6 months. Yeah. Now they're coming to us, and so people are lining themselves up now to make the most of the opportunities, because we've already seen what developers are willing to do, more so the land developers, and they're giving $10,000, maybe even $20,000 discounts where they would in the past never give a discount. It was almost like they wanted us to pay them to buy land, but now they're really helping out. But people are really, they're positioning themselves now because they've been doing the hard work before. Yeah. So we want to help our clients to be able to put themselves in that position too.
And if you look at the GFC back 12 years ago, 2008, that's when Trump, Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki made the most money. Everybody that's made a lot of money in real estate has made it in the downturn. Yep. So it's because, take this opportunity. There's heaps of opportunity out there. It's not all doom and gloom.
Absolutely. Well, look, Mary Chris, I really appreciate your time. This will be a continuous series. So today was an introduction to who we are. If we have or we haven't met before, our Property Investors series will be going out to you guys over the coming months. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you up to date. Really appreciate it, and we'll chat to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.